Hello, and welcome to Improvisations on Growth with Madhu Einsiedler, business and life coach. While everyone seems to be learning how to embrace the new normal, unpredictability still lingers, and we can safely evaluate our current situation, at least as it pertains to Austria and South Florida, as being up in the air. The COVID-19 crisis has created different experiences for each and every one of us, so it would only make sense for this new normal to be perceived differently too. If a few weeks ago we were discussing deep changes and shifts, including in our own consumer behavior, data show that people have been purchasing online quite a bit and are eager to go back to the heavy consumer behavior as before. Explore these and other topics in this new episode of Madhu's COVID-19 Crisis Log. Hello, Madhu. How are you this week?
Hi, Adina. Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I have to say, I was just thinking that I haven't really checked the news, at least not in a real way, just really superficially to see if there's anything urgent that I need to watch for. And it just feels like limbo. That's the word. I think that fits best the situation. It's still uncertain. The restaurants are open, but you cannot go in a Starbucks and sit down, for example. So there's still a lot of uncertainty, and I feel people are getting a little bit into a blah state. How are things over there? You've opened just a little before us. So do you see people excited already?
Traffic is almost back to normal. So that is actually one of the biggest changes that I personally notice. So the air just stinks again, which is a pity. And I'm realizing like the shops are not being overrun by people. And we were talking about, are we going really back to consumerism, and is consuming really the only way that we can experience ourselves as humans, or is that the prevalent way? Seems to be difficult for people to actually change their state from, it's cozy at home and it's nice and I'm cooking. And yes, we can go to the restaurants again, and the coffee houses are open. And I do see people using it, and they're sitting also in outdoors, but they're not using it to the same extent as they did before. And I heard that those restaurants, like the 5-star Michelin, whatever kind of restaurants, that they seem to be booked pretty well. But like the average restaurant around your corner, mom and pop restaurant, they seem to really struggle because people just don't seem to go there. And I can totally relate. I mean, we have been out twice since they have opened, and that has been like now for 2 weeks. And before Corona, we were eating out at least 3 times a week because it was just easier with all the work. I almost tend to say that Corona has created, at least for a lot of people, not for all, but for a lot of people, it was long enough so that it really changed our habits.
Speaking of those habits and of consumers and not seeing the stores full, and basically we're not seeing them full because I have a big mall nearby, for example, and certain little stores are open, but a lot of stores are not open.
Yeah.
So we're not going to probably see people until they're going to open, first of all. And second, I was actually reading this article with consumer behavior. So since the coronavirus started, it's on Bloomberg. 320,000 workers added by Instacart. So online shopping has been like here. 74% of Walmart US online sales have grown from February to April. 74%. 64% Zoom's estimated first quarter sales gain for people communicating online. So the last one maybe is not necessarily about consumer, but it's still an indication of the work from home, that people maybe haven't really stopped working, and people have been really shopping online, at least in the US. So that consumer behavior, I don't see it shifting that much, not yet.
Like our malls have been opened 2 weeks ago, I think. Also, the big stores are open, but people don't seem to go back into the shopping mode. And I don't have any numbers about our online shopping, so how it looks over here. But what I have is, so we have a lot of small organic farmers around Vienna. Their sales has actually grown because people went to buy it there, not so much in the supermarkets. I think I can relate very much to the blast state that you're talking about. What Corona seems to do is really differentiate, so creates different experiences of the whole Corona thing. So there are people where the business has really stopped and where they now need to try to figure out how they can reopen their businesses. Then there are people who have really worked really hard, get a lot of clapping, but not a lot of money. Then there are people where nothing has changed. So it's like Corona did not happen for them at all. And then there are people where Corona created a really different work experience, and now they think that there is a way back to normal. It's like the experiences are spreading out, and so I find it so interesting reading the news and magazines and articles that we still seem to want like this one Corona experience, which I think it's not.
It feels like there are three maybe main categories when it comes to professionals. The people who haven't been affected that much, and not only that, but maybe they even benefited a little. For example, here we have certain small businesses like the pool maintenance people, because it's South Florida and a lot of people have pools and they've been in the house with kids. They just had to get their pools maintained more often. So that's one example. So people who haven't been affected or benefited, and then kind of like people who have been affected somewhat and maybe working from home, maybe the income dropped a little, but not enough to really scare them for something radical to happen. And then what I see is the people who are really like losing a lot because of this, from like the retail, a restaurant, everything that required in person. So again, I feel like we're going back to that differentiation as to what are the industries, so to speak, that can thrive using technology. Those you can still see that they're stable, as opposed to the industries that require in person. I'm not talking about health, because the doctors, that's a different thing, that they need to be in person. But anything else, like hotels, casinos, restaurants, coffee shops, everything that requires groups and socializing, those have just really taken a hit. Thank you for listening and for exploring with us the changes that the coronavirus crisis is still prompting in our society. Maybe our discussions have made you ponder at your own consumer behavior, and perhaps you noticed how your own shopping is not the same as it was before. Can you relate to the limbo and the still uncertain situation that we all seem to experience? I invite you to share your thoughts by getting in touch with Madhu directly and email her at madhu@einsiedler.at, or leave your feedback on her social media on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Embrace the change and make sure to listen to Madhu's following episode.